Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Salutations to Bhagavan Ramakrishna. Welcome to the 11th class in the second series of Mantra Yoga. We have been dwelling in our regular classes the mystical, the subtle aspects of mantra and the repetition of the mantra called Japa. And apart from the psychology, the spirituality that is a result of repeating this mystic syllable, we have very rarely discussed the physical aspect. We have, but not in details. When we have spoken about the nerves, we've spoken mainly about what is called in Tantra and Yoga, some traditions of the Yoga, as Ida and Pingala and Sushumna, the central canalus. And there's a bunch of nerves in the spinal column. These are essential, naturally, and these have become so popular all over the place. Kundalini and this nadis and this and that, especially here in California. Every second guy who knows about these yoga traditions speaks about this Kundalini and Kundalini Shakti and Kundalini Yoga. Yes, that is important, but those subtle nerves to be awakened, there are another set of nerves that needs to be activated. And this is called the vagus nerve. Now, a monk was saying, okay, I only hope that we don't have the vagus, you can say, nerve. You know, Vegas, Las Vegas also is pronounced Vegas. So the gambling nerve. There's nothing to. These are the nerves there, as you can see. They emerge out from behind the back of the neck, from the side, behind the brain. This is the 10th cranial nerve. And though they are these nerves, the right and the left, they are spoken of as one, but they are nerves. They are called vagus because it's called a wandering nerve. And it is so vast. It branches and branches and sub-branches all over the body. Okay. This is important, that we have the idea that there is a body-brain connection, as simple as that. The body is intimately connected to the brain. In fact, the whole of this body is taken care of by these vagus nerves. They form what is called the parasympathetic nervous system. And we have something called the two nervous systems, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. They control everything, everything. So these vagus nerves, they emerge from behind the skull. They traverse down your carotid arteries, down the neck, and then comes down, right down to each and your respiration, your heart, your digestion. Everything is controlled by these nerves. Okay. Now, it is important to understand that when we see these nerves, what do they do? These nerves form both the sensory and the motor fibers. And so these are dual pathways from the brain to the body and from the body to the brain. if these nerves are not integrated, if these nerves do not have that strength, you're going to have a trouble. It takes care of homeostasis, it takes care of many sensory phenomena like smelling and even a voice and speech, as well as mental phenomena, anxiety and depression, etc. So it covers your body, your senses, and also your mind. Now there's a peculiar, you can say, attribute of these vagus nerves. Though they control everything, they are autonomic nervous system. That is, they are doing it on their own. There is something called a vagus nerve tone. There's a tone, there's a sound. And unbelievably, this tone is inherited from one's mother. Yeah, it does change. The child then grows and it changes. But then the mother's vagus nerve tone is transmitted to the child. Now, what is this tone? The tone is nothing but, as I say, when we breathe in, the heart just very slightly beats faster. And when we exhale, the heart ever so slightly beats a little slower. The difference between this is called the vagal tone. The larger the difference, the quicker you can come away from stress, etc. But just to give you an idea that there is a kind of, it's connected intimately to respiration and to your heart, and of course the digestion, and in fact almost everything is controlled by this autonomic nervous system. So when both these sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves are balanced, this is what is called homeostasis, which we have spoken about in some of our earlier videos. Why is this necessary? It's saying, Swami Vivekananda says, a unhealthy body can never ascend to yoga. So what do? No body is perfectly healthy. So the body can be made healthy to a large extent. There are various things that can help tone, or you can say activate all these vagus nerves to the fullest extent. One is by splashing cold water on your face. Okay. Another is, you can have a cold shower, that energizes you. The third, because some of these nerves, they come out here, branch out right across the face also. The third is, singing. Singing activates your vagus nerves. And then, as you have seen in the diagram, these nerves, they are coming out from all over the place. And you find these things, all nerves are bringing in, there's kind of a nervous fluid all over this place. All nerves work on the principle of electricity. It's nothing but chemical electricity. So there's electricity flowing from the brain to the body and body to the brain. So connected. This integration is absolutely essential for Japa. Okay. There is another way of activating this vagus nerve. One is, at the back of the head, you start massaging it. Okay, at the back. So that is one way. Okay. And then you massage at the back of your ear flaps. This is another way. So from the back of the head to the back of the ear, you can keep on massaging. And then bring your fingers down, right down here to the neck. So this is an easy, effective way of massaging your vagus nerves. Yes, unbelievable. It's like this, kind of. Yes, It awakens you. So what happens is you are getting to become integrated when these vagus nerves are activated. And as I mentioned, there's a tone. Now, what is the tone? The tone is sound. Even you can say singing, as I mentioned, there is another. The repetition of Om. It's just something like Om. This is the sound because it controls speech, and there are some who also say that even gargling water can also help. So instead of gargling water, it's better to easier to say Om. Okay. So what's happening? It's like the respiration works on the circulation. The circulation works on the nerves, or the rest of the nerves. Everything works on the brain. Then the brain transmit all these things to the mind. So once your nerves are calm, your brain will become calm, and that calmness is transmitted down. So 80% of all the information from the body goes up here. It is nothing but there are two responses: fight or flight, and feast and rest. The fight and flight is the sympathetic nerves. It checks up everything around, even without your awareness, and primes you for danger. And then there's a rest and relax or feast and fast. So there's feasting and fasting. So these two. The body, when it is balanced between these two, it needs to diffuse its stress. The stress that comes from fight and flight is now diffused from the rest and relax and feast. So here. So when these things are done, what happens is in the mantra yoga, when this integration takes place in the body, in the nervous system, that is also transmitted to everywhere, especially in the digestive system and the immune system. I mean, every system is now controlled by these vagus nerves. Once the body gets integrated, then there's an automatic flow of that mantra within you. If the body is not integrated, not balanced, it's always stressed, then you will have difficulty in repeating this. So it's always stress. Everything is just stress and stress and stress. The modern world is stressing us so much, and that is killing us. A little stress is necessary, but at one point of time, your body just can't take it, and it brings you diseases. Stress brings you diseases, yeah. Stress also affects the mind. So your mind, you can't eat, you can't sleep, you cannot think, you cannot do anything properly. So in this mantra yoga, we decided to ascend to those mystical realms which we were talking about, but foundationally it is through the gross body, and the gross body is controlled by these vagus nerves. As simple. So once these are taken care of, then slowly your primary nerves in the spinal column, the Ida and the Pingala and the Shushumna, they can easily get activated, because these are the huge currents in the body. These are psychic currents, or we call prana currents. Okay? They flow up and down the body. And like in the ocean, you have these mighty currents. The ocean is never still. You may think that it's just full of water. No, there are huge currents that are pulling and pushing water. cold and hot water is being pulled. It's like a conveyor belt, distributing nutrients, distributing heat, distributing cold. So these nerves in the body, the Ida and the Pingala, they are also, they're saying they carry all the heat and the nutrients and the life force all over the body. And when they are in harmony, they can awaken the Sushumna. It is only after the vagus nerve is controlled or in balance, then these two great nerves called the Ida and the Pingala, which also come out from the head, but they enter into the spinal column. They move around in an 8. And at the base of the sacral plexus, they again switch and revert up, and they go up like this. So these are the two psychic currents. And at one point of time, when you have enough of psychic energy, that part at the bottom of the sacral plexus is suddenly pops open. And when it pops open, the Sushumna canal, which is not really a nerve, but it's a psychic, you can say, nadi, or what is called, in India we'll say, nadi means that which you can hear the nad, the sound. So it is that, it is not a physical nerve. Swami Vivekananda says, I have seen the Sushumna. It's a thin golden thread, like a thin golden thread. So that physical energy now becomes psychic energy. It is the same energy. It's not that you're going to take something from outside and make it psychic. The same physical energy that you have got it from your food and drink and water, etc., is converted into psychic energy. And that psychic energy now traverses up the Sushumna, the central canalis inside, right up. And as it moves from center to center, there's a tremendous reaction. Layers after layers of the mind are opened up, and you can see this universe in its subtle and causal forms. You will not see this universe as it is like this. Your physical energy has now become subtle and psychic. So the vagus nerve is there to help us get started. And that's the reason why this mantra itself, which is now just physical, like you say, Om, it's a physical sound. Yes, but within that physical sound is that psychic aspect. This physical sound itself will become subtle and then become psychic, and that will get converted into higher and higher vibrations. Okay, so much for the psychic nerves and vagus nerves, etc. Okay, now we are going to use Om as a mantra for us to contemplate on, as well as to articulate. As we have been mentioning, everything has a symbol. The universe also has a symbol. You also have a symbol. And there are various symbols, but the deepest symbol that can correctly represent the universe and you is this Om. It is the universal sound. And this sound is heard by the yogis in the universe when the mind comes up to this heart center. It's called the Anahata Dhvani, the unstruck sound. You can hear this sound reverberating in the universe and also within you. It also means the creation, preservation, destruction. It symbolizes, Om symbolizes that. It also means the waking, dream, and deep sleep states of consciousness. It is so comprehensive, it is said to be the symbol of God, a symbol of reality. So what is reality? Om. But don't we have God with hands and feet? Oh, if you want, you can take that. Doesn't matter. Yes. But the idea is, it is personal, impersonal. It is not anthropocentric, that is human-like. We have this Om as the personal as well as the impersonal aspect of reality. It's so comprehensive. So when we are going to repeat this, I would like you to all to understand the deeper meaning of this Om, that it symbolizes you, the gross, the subtle, and the causal aspects of your personality, as well as it transcends your gross, subtle, and causal aspects and merges into. So, to come down to the practice, I was wondering how to make kind of a model for practice. Then I decided, let's do it the old way. No fancy stuff, nothing. It's just simple Om. So we will do it first, articulate it, and then it will become semi-audible, and then it will be inaudible. You are going to do it. When we are contemplating also on the meaning, and if you like, you can also visualize that symbol. Okay? So visualization will keep your mind from getting distracted to other things. So visualize it, look at the screen and see, okay, this is what it is. Feel the sound first emerging from ear. Then as you keep on repeating, it becomes more and more semi-audible. Feel it's coming out from ear. And as it becomes even more inaudible, feel that is emerging out from your heart. And at the deepest point of the heart, it is now silent. You repeat it silently. So that is the, you can say, physical locations of the various stages of repetition of the mantra. So let's begin. Now, the standard practice is sit down straight and keep a half smile, please. Let's not be so dull and dour and sour. This is the happy kind of practice. So keep a half smile on your face. Relax all your facial muscles. Okay? Look down, gaze at the point either ear or the point of the chin. Okay? Keep your eyes for now half closed. And as you go down deeper and deeper and deeper the repetition, your eyelids will automatically close down when you come down to here. Okay? So let's begin. Now make it semi-audible. feel it is emerging down from your throat. Om. Now silently repeat that and feel it's emerging from your heart. Okay, take a long deep breath, open your eyes. This was a kind of practice run. Those who are very visual, most of us are. There are some who are very audible. There are some who are very tactile. So those who can visualize things, you can visualize that symbol, Om, and you can trace your finger over that symbol. So you see the symbol, you can trace your fingers over this symbol. Now you can do that when you reach down at the heart level. Okay? Visualize it, trace your finger, or use a paintbrush if you are inclined to it, and trace that figure there while silently chanting Om when you reach down here. Okay? So let's start. Do it again. Okay, half close your eyes, please. Relax all your facial muscles. Become aware of your breath. Take a long deep breath and begin. Breathe in. Breathe in. And let's make it semi-audible from the throat. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Now silently repeat this in your heart and visualize the Om and trace your finger on it. You must be able to hear that sound within. Okay, take a long deep breath and open your eyes. This is the way. I haven't emphasized enough that when you mentally repeat it, you must be able to hear that mental sound within you. It's like you articulated Om. When you mentally repeat it, it has to sound exactly like this inside. That will set off the, you can say, adjust the tone, the vagal nerve tone. Once these things are integrated, then the rest of the functions, the bodily functions, mental function and sensory function will get integrated. So this is the grossest aspect of the symbol called Om and its articulation. And as you go on deeper and deeper and deeper, you will feel you are traveling down the path. And that path is leading down to a subtle, very subtle realm where you can hear the sound. It's a spontaneous sound. There you will not have to articulate it anymore. It spontaneously arises and falls and rises and falls. It happens, it's happening right now. We are not tuned to it yet. So in order to get tuned to it, we'll need to do the practice. So as you keep on practicing, it will harmonize with that. And as it's synchronized, then this thing will keep on going over and over again. It's a deep, sweet, blissful, uplifting sound that you will hear. It's not going to disturb you or anything like that. In fact, this will be the greatest comfort. This will be your greatest support. The Upanishads say, this is the highest support, this is the greatest support. This, you have it within you, within your reach, within your powers. So, it starts with a little practice. Okay? Om, peace, peace, peace. Okay. Yes, mostly all thank yous only. Swamiji, I need to visualize, I need to repeat a mantra, I need to count on fingers. These three things at once seem a little difficult. Am I doing it right? Yes. You can. You can visualize and you can repeat. These two things are perfectly all right. And as we have mentioned, keeping count on your fingers or on the mala, what happens is your motor, you can say, areas of the brain, most of them are connected with your fingers. Yes, amazingly. So the moment you keep your fingers engaged with counting, you stop daydreaming. Your mind will not wander or mind will not fall asleep. That's the work of the motor cortex. It keeps you kind of engaged. So you are using, actually, suppose you have 3 engines on your plane. You put on all the 3 engines. So you don't put on just one saying, oh, that will do. The plane is going to land you down badly. So do it. If you have difficulty in keeping count, for the moment, let that go. But visualize it and try to remember the meaning as you can say, chant it. Repeating other mantras, Om Namah Shivaya, also activate the vagus nerve? Yes, all mantras activate. It's Om Namah Shivaya. Every mantra activates the vagus nerves. What is the significance of the colors? Light we visualize at the heart center when visual. So there are different colors within each chakra. Okay. These are psychic, you can say, colors. Let's not go into it. For the moment, you just visualize this place as a pale yellow color. Later on, you'll get to know the real color. Okay. So, The color of the Ishta, as you mentioned, the color of the Ishta is what you have been shown or what the depiction is. Like Shiva is like blue in color. Blue means it represents infinity, okay? Space, unlimitedness. So that's why Sri Ramakrishna says, when things are at a distance, you will see them as blue or black. But when you come closer to that particular thing, you will see it colorless. It's like a sky. The sky looks blue there, but it doesn't look blue here. Water also is something like that. So use colors, yes, during a visualization, it helps. Okay, should we do Om separate from Japa? Is it part of Japa? But it's doing it alone important? No, it's not important. If you have the other parts of the mantra, the bija, the seed, and the name of the particular deity, do it all together. We did it for convenience purposes. We've been doing all various mantras. So I said, let's do it just Om. So when you say like Om Namah Shivaya, that itself is activated. So you have Om also. Om Namo Narayanaya. That also is there. The various mantras. So every mantra has an Om there. That mantra itself is actually, though it's a part, it's the totality. The deity merges in the seed, okay, the bija. The seed then merges into the Om, and the Om merges into that great silence. So it's a kind of reverse, you can say, evolution. We chant it like this, Om Namah Shivaya, and then as you get deeper and deeper with Shivaya, and then we'll merge into Nama, and Nama into Om, and Om into silence. When you come down to that stage, there is no sound at all. Even the sound of Om has stopped. So the idea is evolution and involution. Evolution and involution. Keeps on circling over and over again, and then there's a kind of it breaks through. And that is what we all want at, the great breakthrough. Okay. So as mentioned, 25th is Saturday, but it's Christmas also. So wish you a Merry Christmas. We won't have a class. But on the 1st, again on Saturday, we decided let's start the new year with a Mantra Yoga class. So we're going to have a Mantra Yoga class, okay? Om, peace, peace, peace.